Hey, what's going on everyone? This is JoeYoursTruly back with another video, and today we're gonna be doing some Shinbi offlane. And on this new patch, she got some adjustments because one of the most annoying things about running across a Shinbi player is the fact that people have been complaining about she just spams Q from a distance, and there's actually a good reason because like before her like mana cost and kind of her mana sustain in general was just like really good to the point where I never don't have to walk up to the wave because eventually I'll just be able to spam Q, last hit, keep poking the opponent out, right? But with the changes that did on this patch, it's trying to adjust her away from that. So I think with the numbers where it is right now, you can still Q from a distance, but now you're gonna be more punished if that's all you do, because the mana cost increase, the mana regen being lower. So we're just gonna like see how it feels in this game. I'm gonna be going Arclight Crest is kind of like the better way to test it out. Is we're gonna go for the more health sustain, not gonna go for the Magician Crest, and we're just gonna go with Megacosm from now and kind of go from there. Because it's sort of a standard build on Shimmy is to go like Obelisk as your quest, Megacosm, Tainted, Scepter, World Breaker, like that kind of build well. And that build doesn't really have much mana sustain, but it doesn't really matter because Shimmy all she needs is just Q for the most part. But if we do the same build path now with these mana adjustments, we can kind of see if she actually needs that mana sustain or not. Like I'm thinking if I'm running into mana issues, I'm gonna pick up Timewarp second. And it's gonna be a spell offlane, very interesting stuff. Yeah, they have a very kind of interesting team comp to start off. But I thought that's like a Sevrock offlane and then maybe a spell support, because spell support can be one because JoeYoursTruly has played her support as a more poking support. But say it's a spell offlane, so it just means that once I get to a certain point, I just kind of run down the spell every time. She does sort of have that early edge on me just because of the range matchup, but I just have to play this patiently and eventually I'll be able to just really harass her a lot. Oh nice, the early gank by the Chimera, love to see it. I'm trying to use right now, since the wave is getting big, I want to try to whittle it down before it crashes too big into my turns. So all I want to do is just focus on making sure this doesn't crash in, and I can just blast it. It's a ranged matchup, but because it's a ranged matchup, as a Shimmy player, I can actually walk up to the wave mode and auto attack. So I'm trying not to like spam Q right now. You don't have to spam Q. You only want to spam Q if you really just cannot walk up to the wave at all. But right now in this ranged matchups, it's not like it's a grudge right away about walking up to that. I can just walk up, take some autos, or trying to avoid it all together. I think that spell is going for the leftover buff, by the way. I'm actually not gonna go on that because I'm not strong enough to where I can just all in on her, and spell with the buff makes her pretty more deadly with the stacking mechanic and the damage she gets from it, so I don't want to actually take a fight until at least level 6 or Megacosm. Gonna turn CS, I'm doing way better than she is, so I'm just trying to play the long haul if anything. And plus it's always the Chimera gank that if he just comes once, then the spell is just dead unless she blinks out. But yeah, it's very interesting that sometimes these spells offlane, and that's like probably one of the worst range offlanes you can do, because the whole point of doing range offlane is to pick a hero that has like great mobility or peel from stuff, like a Tremblast, a Kiwa, like a Howitzer, like think of those kind of characters with all that peel and mobility. Like Spell has none of that, so it's kind of like once you get on top of her, she's just dead. Like the only thing she can do is maybe stash check you, but most matchups I can just I should be able to just win outright. You know, I should maybe try to look to Q her more, not necessarily the last hit, but trying to like poke her out. Even though like my damage is not super great, I can at least try to pressure her more like that, and eventually she'll get low. She is fighting a lot in my wave, so I'll say that. So she's actually taking a lot of damage from not only Qs, but also the fact that she's letting my minions hit her.
Enemy tower under attack.
Wait, there's no way she's gonna do tier buff. She can't. She doesn't do it fast enough, and I'll be able to just contest her. Like, I can take my time doing this. Oh, that's why, because Greystone's here. That's weird. That's why, because I'm like, there's no way Spell can do that, but that's only because the Greystone was already here. You need to go on the Sparrow right here. Nice job. And now we just walk out. Yep, we don't have to blink. I'm only worried about the Ombi killing me last second, but I don't think I was low enough anyways for that. So nice. Yeah, that was just really weird how that plan to play out, because that Greystone, as soon as I just walk away, there's nothing he can realistically do, right? But the fact that he still chased me is like, I guess the only reason why he did that is because he just really want the Spirit to get the tier buff, right? But by doing that, he just invited himself to get killed by my camera, who was on his side after being on the other side of the map for a while. Nice, so I think on our next back, we are going to be able to get our Megacosm Power Spike. We have a lot of magical power now, so I should be getting a little bit more aggressive. So once I hit 6, I might be able to look for all-in on the spell if I get on top of her. I just gotta be paying attention to the wave state, making sure the wave doesn't get like too big. Or rather, like, I don't want to fight the spell when there's a huge minion wave, right? I have to like making sure, because like minions do a lot of damage early on, so you need to kind of respect the wave state more than anything, and making sure you don't take a lot of damage because you're fighting a big wave. Got ultimate, that's good. She is shoving the wave towards us, which is good because it'd be hard to kind of all in on her from this distance. So this wave is gonna now crash right here. And so that means that, see how lights all push up and Sparrow is now coming around? We can definitely look to go in on her. There we go. And we got the blink out, so that means that Sparrow has no way to get out next time we just go on her. So I might just look to do a blind blink on her because there's literally nothing you can do about it once I get on top of her. And this is a very dead Sparrow. Like I said, like this, like Sparrow is just really bad in the range, like offlane, just because of that reason alone. Like I said, if you want to do range offlane, you do Twin Blast, Kiwa, Murdoch, even Drongo, right? Because like any ADC that has self peel for themselves, right? So I think she literally picked the one ADC that does not have any mobility or self peel and just try and run with that, and that just not worked out, unfortunately. I'm gonna go help my mirror finish off the mini prime real quick. I think he's fine, but it was always good to throw some Qs because I think it takes them a bit. Yeah, see how it's only like 8 minutes in the game, so doing these objectives take a little bit. So I'll save me only because I literally can just run down the Sparrow myself. Like, so when you try to decide who you want to give the mini prime to, the offlane or the jungle, it really depends on the matchup in the offlane. Like if I was, let's say, a Shinbi versus, I don't know, a Ceres, right, where I'm probably struggling a lot early, it's hard for me to get that push in, then I'll give the Chimera, right? So any matchup you're kind of losing early or you can't have pressure on in the early game offlane, just give it to your jungler. But since I'm winning super hard against the Sparrow, I can take it for myself. I'll just ult in right here and she's dead. Because like that's what I mean, like if you can just do that. Oh, there's a Greystone on me. I mean, if you can do that, then essentially you can take the tier buff, right? If you can kill your offlane reliably by yourself and be safe while doing it. Is he actually still hanging around? Because I have my double dash. But I'm just gonna kill him, honestly. He probably used ult, but that's why I hold on to my B. That's no ultimate from Greystone. I got that out. I probably can't make this push anymore because Sparrow's coming in, and she could actually finish me off if I disrespect her. So I'm actually gonna take my reset right here. And we actually out of mana already, which it's not too surprising because we used our bunch of abilities right there. So the thing with like Shinbi is that I think the one reason why she never went on to mana issues because all she needs in lane is her kill, right? You only use E if you're trying to go for a standard trade or trying to stack up, and R&B when you're trying to engage or disengage, right? So the main build that you're just using in lane pretty much is just your Q. But, so you shouldn't be using your E actively, because look at the cost of that 65. I mean, the Q used to be 30, now it's 40, so now it's actually a lot more expensive to use this kind of ability, but I should not be using E on the way for step, but why? All I need is just Q. And that's probably like the one mistake I see is that a lot of people like to keep using E on repeat to like, go to the wave, but all you really need is Q, because E doesn't really do that much for clearing the wave, especially when you put all your levels into Q. So me using my E is actually really inefficient using my mana. So when I was using my E a bunch of times when I was fighting, that's how I went out mana quickly. But yeah, I was just using only Q, and see, look at my mana. It's definitely taking a beating, I would say. So I'm kind of seeing some of the mana adjustments already. So it's more noticeable now if I only use Q, and once I stop to use all my abilities, unless I have Magician Quest or like stuff like Timewarp, I actually run out of mana pretty fast if I'm not careful. Oh, that actually hit the spell by accident. And because I have so much pressure on this left side, the Kaiman's doing a small thing by invading, because if the Greatsword try to come and contest, I already push up, I can have prior to go 1 before the spell will ever do that. And my Q is actually hurting her as I see that, so I can actually be looking to do huge trades, because I'm trying to get her low enough now to the point where I can just all in on her. So see, that's one chunk right there. Let's do another one. We missed that, but that's okay. I don't think my Q would kill that. Let's start throwing Qs at the Greystone because he looks like he wants to chase. Okay, now it's backing off. Yeah, I'm like definitely feeling my mana nerfs. So this is definitely looking like a Timewarp second option right here. Which is actually really good on Shinbi, but if you're going for the more like efficient damage slash build, you want to take Scepter second so you can go build World Breaker third. But because we're running into mana issues, we actually want to like pick up Timewarp second, then like a kind of Tainted Scepter third World Breaker. So essentially trying to build Shinbi like as much damage as you can while putting some HP here and there so you can sustain. A lot of people are getting low over there. Yep, we're gonna just try to gank the spell. I think she has flame, but we can easily just follow her with our own. So she shove in, let's see if she's going back around. Okay, she's gonna just keep backpedaling right there. We should at this point just be looking to try eliminate the spell every time we can. Just gotta get the right angle for it, which is not too hard. Just I need to make sure like I can walk up to her and wait for my on-B, so when she blinks out, I can follow with my blink right after. I'm not gonna go mid though, because it looks like they want to push that in. If, let's say, the monkey still push, I can probably finish her off. She was not. So what I can do is, I can maybe I can shove this in pretty fast, I think. Get this to crash into the tower, do some damage, and give my monkey some fire. I should be using my Obelisk. I forgot I have that item, so I should be trying to stack it up.
Enemy tower under attack.
Yeah. I heard Greystone right there. I'm honestly gonna still go for the kill on Sparrow if she walks up. If she does not, Because I think I walk on the wall, that's why she just backed out immediately.
Power of the orb is yours.
She just took the, yeah, she took that. Okay, I'm not gonna use my blink to follow her because she just used hers, so let's save it from when we actually need it. Because I mean, we'll be able to take this tower with the mini prime by Chimera. And if she stays, we just dive her. Now we want to actually go right and try to gank the right lane right here. Waystone is on his forward, but we're actually gonna be here before. Go. It's a good time to do Feint Tooth, but since we have mini prime, might as well use it to knock down this T1 tower on the right side. Yep, he's just giving up because there's nothing he can do. Now let's do Feint Tooth. Waystone was on this side. I'm not sure where he went, but alright, I'm gonna go mid. They should be able to do Feint Tooth without me. Mokus is trying to like just push that in to do some damage and draw people away like me. But Mokus should be going on Feint Tooth because I always said I was gonna go mid. Both of us should not be going over here. But she came over anyways. Lucky it didn't seem like matter as much because my team was doing fine, but ideally not two people should be going over, it should be just one. Because just in case the big fight breaks up at the Feint Tooth, it'll be like Mokus would be there and not like two of us not there, the 3v4 fight if that occurred. I'm looking to back off soon, so I'm just trying to push out maybe one more wave, get Timewarp, and then start building into Tainted Scepter right here. Because, yeah, I think I just want to go for that typical build on Shinbi. And her wave play is still very good. Like I said, the main thing they touched on her was the fact that her menace sustained. Yep, so let's get Timewarp. Since I have a more AD comp, maybe you can Golem's give. And no, honestly, let me see who's the stronger one. So yeah, I don't think Mortgage might. I think I'm gonna go Golem's give. Third actually, because I don't really need the anti-blight. It's just a nice item for that burst of damage you can do when you just use Q because of the Malice decks. So me going Golem's Gift might be better suited for like this more physical comp. Oh, not in range. We caught her really good. I'm gonna just blink because I think she used blink earlier, so I can just kind of go on her. And this should be a very dead Mortgage. There we go. And we have the knockback here, so we can actually sustain our health back. So we look like we might be able to siege this pretty well. Because yeah, it's just a lonely sparrow. He did that. He should have went for the dunk, because like that dunk has way more range than his ultimates. I think done that we will get her. Nice shot. Oh, I'm gonna be able to get in. Oh, I actually have a flame minion still. Trying to zone them off a little bit. Now we got the wave coming in. There we go. Now we can look to back off. Oh, they're still going at it. I can probably still fight if they're still going on it, but looks like my enemy team is backing off. And he actually hurt my back. And he had the ultimate right there, because the only way he lived, he had ultimate, which I don't know if he used it too late or he just didn't have it, because he didn't use it the last fight. It looks like he just didn't like decide to use it, I think. Because we definitely do hurt a lot, I would say that. Nice, so we're back for Golem's Gift. I'm kind of sort of thinking what kind of build I want to go for. I think I might still go for like Tainted Scepter. Because I'm trying to see if Mortgage might be an issue. Maybe she will be eventually. But I think I'm just going to go for Tainted Scepter. Because kind of like what I have in mind to finish off this build is go Tainted Scepter first and Worldbreaker last. So kind of just wind up the build. Get some health in these items and also some armor against just the more AD comp they have. Because doing something like Flux Matrix on Shinbi is actually really good, just for the fact that it's really good to get certain matchups, getting good matchup defense, but it also helps you do more magical damage technically with the passive it provides. I'm coming around, see if we can bait out. There we go. Oh, it looks like he blinked and used ultimate, so we literally got everything out of him, right? So, that's really good that we got all of that. And that Morgan is very caught out and very dead right here. Yep, that's a very dead Mortgage. Yep, and the very dead spell that just really can't do anything as soon as we do it for the tower dive. Now we want to try to go back mid. This is the big fight brewing. Let's go on the gray zone. That's very dead Murdoch. Not enough damage. He got into the tower pretty fast. And we should just back off only because we just no longer fight with no mana. Yeah, the whole team is coming in, so if it's just a set wall, maybe we can fight that, but the fact that everyone came in fresh from spawn, nothing much we can do about that, unfortunately. Yeah, it seems like they're definitely trying to go for that. Even though like the base is a little on fire with all those lanes pushing, but they're still gonna go for it anyways. Oh, my Trump is actually struggling, even though the spell just hasn't been doing that well this game. He still struggles against her. We should still go in to finish off 100%. And there we go, we just win that really hard because I'm really strong right now. So like I literally can just go in and just kind of 1v3. I just need some support from my allies to just guarantee nothing goes amiss. As a dead Mortgage. Oh. There we go. So for Seth, I was trying to do the tower dive, but unfortunately because he's support, doesn't have the shoulder pads, and now he just like Seth is one of those champions that if you remove his like soul mechanic, like his stacking, he can actually be a solid tank support, but the fact that his power budget is so reliant on that, he just can never be good in support, which I think it's purposely made for balance reasons as an original kid, just so that he's always intended for the tank offlane jungle role, never like the support role, because I think it'd be a little impressive having all that mobility and CC on that kind of character. And you know what? I'll go mid because Kameh is actually pushing left or hovering left, so I might as well be here mid and kind of push these towers out. Because since it's dead inhibitor, we can just kind of walk up to it. Could be dead. Yep. Oh, I would get that quick kill. Nice, we'll finish off right there. And this looks to be GG's right here in just a sec, right? Let's scale the gravestone real quick, and now we go back, finishing up the game for today. So definitely GG's. A little bit one-sided, I'm not gonna lie, only because of that matchup we got. But at least that just shows that I mean, a lot of people complain about range offlaners, but like they're still really, there can be good range offlaners and they can still be very bad, like the spell support. Spell offlane kind of pick right here. Because I think it would have been even worse if I, like, let's say a Ceres, I can just W key here a lot earlier and get that, like, earlier fights. But because with the Shinbi pick, I kind of have to play the more scaling scheme until I hit 6, then I can just look to all in, right? But this was a good showcase to kind of show, like, exactly how Shinbi is feeling in terms of, like, mana and all that. Because, like, I definitely felt the mana shifts because, even after getting, like, Timewarp, which is a good source of mana sustain and lane, like, we're running through our mana pretty quickly, and that's just because just her mana economy is increased across the board. Or not across the board, but for a Q mostly. So when you get to those mid to late game fights, when you spam your Q a lot, you feel it a lot more because of the mana increase and the mana regen at base just being lower for Shinbi. So I think definitely if you want to play Shinbi now on this, like, new patch, you definitely want to be building her like a mana sustain item. Like, I don't think Magician Crest alone can cut it. You have to build some kind of sustain for the mid to late game fight. So like Caustica is really good, Time Warp is really good. And I'm going to do a circle on Shinbi, so just do Caustica or Time Warp as your two options, just depending on who you're against. If you're against a very tanky team comp, you go Caustica. If you're against this more like balanced team comp, not balanced, but like if you only have like one tank, maybe one durable guy, then you can go Time Warp, no problem. But yeah, I think it's a good change. It just means that Shinbi in lane is gonna get a lot more oomph now with just using the Q alone, which is a good change because now it should be more punished in the long laning phase. So if you can try to like survive long enough or avoid most of her Q, she's gonna eventually run out of steam, and then that's when you can just out sustain her in that lane phase and just be able to capitalize on that. But yeah, very good showcase of kind of the Shinbi changes. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what the heroes, what the builds you may showcase. Thank you as always for all the amazing support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.